thing that no one here knows about Rick until just a moment ago when I already said it, was that he has a blog about how to make the world a better place.
And I know how to ride a camel.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
What year was that?
It's, I don't know, 1890, 1895, War of 1812, I don't know.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm a little rusty. It's been a little while. But I could probably still pull it off.
That's where the cavalry.
The odd part about the camel is that he gets to go in with the rest of the herd. He doesn't really want to turn around that well, so they're a little stubborn. Yeah.
Rick's key to success is to stay positive, no matter what the circumstances, and consistently work hard. Ladies and gentlemen, Rick Lucas.
I have no idea how that's ever going to benefit me, knowing how to ride a camel, but hopefully someday. These are some of my people. Obviously, this is my son and his wife, my father. So, I'm not going to be as near as fancy as Rhonda. I really didn't put together a presentation, PowerPoint, so I'm just going to kind of wing it. Hopefully, I'm going to record it. Hopefully, I can get better at it, okay? So basically, Louisville SEO Strategies, how I got into this business was I started about 10 or 12 years ago. I was into recycling and kind of scrapping and was running around recycling metal and doing all these other things. And I thought, well, it would be genius, and how could I get more leads and more calls would be I'll build my own little website, right? Now, what I didn't really realize at the time is that having a website means absolutely nothing. And a lot of small business owners don't really realize that. Having a website doesn't mean you're going to get a bunch of phone calls. So I built my little website, and then I didn't get any phone calls. So I had to teach myself how to build a website, and then I had to teach myself how to get that website to rank, where if someone did a search for recycle laptops or remove a refrigerator, my website would come up and I would get a phone call. I was tired of watching Craigslist and the free ones, that free section. You jump up to go grab something for free, and there's 7 trucks parked out there. There's people out there having fist fights in the front yard, so there was a lot of wasted time. And how the next kind of move there was, I had an HVAC guy call me, working for somebody else at the time, and it was like a gold mine, copper mine, I guess you could say. Where had this HVAC guy would call me when he needed stuff hauled away from job sites. He needed somebody reliable that would show up on time. And I got to doing that for him. I explained to him how I'd built a website for myself, and he was like, well, sure. Can you build one for me? Because he was going out on his own. So that was my first client. Now, of course, I didn't realize how the difference between competition of a bunch of guys in beat up trucks picking up air conditioners versus HVAC companies. But I figured that out, and that led to him referring me to someone else, which led me to being referred to someone else, and all of a sudden I'm managing 3 websites and had 3 clients. Before I'd ever built a website about building websites, I was managing 3 or 4 websites. And the benefit to that, and it's really the kind of perfect referral for me, is looking for someone that, maybe a small business owner that either is just starting out, or doesn't have a website, or like I said earlier, has a website, it's just not generating any income for them. And someone that's maybe an attorney or a real estate agent, they don't have time to manage a website for themselves. That's where I can help them out. And one of the other benefits of working with me is that I can help them not waste their time. There's a lot of things out there, you can spend thousands of dollars on yellow pages or something like that. It's just a lot of wasted time and effort. I can't remember who said it, but there was some marketing guy said, I know I'm wasting half of my marketing budget, I just don't know which half. I can help people, small business owners, figure out what works and what doesn't, okay? And help them either build a website or help that website start to generate income for them. So it's just not a billboard, an online billboard, okay? So that's the benefit there. And I'm always looking for that long-term relationship. So I can get in with someone like the HVAC guy, okay? and his businesses went from just a couple of trucks to now he's got 8 or 9 trucks, and he's $250,000 a month, and he's moved into commercial Derby City pizzas and Hobby Lobbies and a lot of things like that. So that's been a great experience to watch them grow, as well as some of my other clients. So that's really how I kind of got started, and the best kind of referral for me is something like that, is someone either kind of gets started and needs some guidance because they know how to fix HVAC, but they don't know how to market or don't know how to manage a website. So those are some of the best things for me. I tell people a lot too that you can't do everything yourself. You get a lot of people that, I get a lot of small business owners that call me and just want to pick my brain. They just want to know how I do it, so maybe they can do it. But it's a lot of time consuming. I mean, I tell people, like, I have an accountant that takes care of my taxes for me. I could probably do my own taxes, but I mean, really, should I do my own taxes? Probably not, you know? Should you do your own search engine optimization? I mean, I guess that's possible, but do you have the time? And what is it taking you away from doing other things? So, and we'll shift gears a little bit. I want to try to bring some value to this besides me babbling on about how I got started here. I wanted to talk about how something, maybe a little value that maybe help you guys out. And this is something else I can sit down when I do website consultations and business consultations with people, is, because a lot of people don't know, how do you reply or how do you respond to Google reviews? Excuse me. So, Google reviews. Obviously, bad reviews, if you're a company that has a lot of bad reviews, and how you respond to them is probably immaterial. You probably need to look at your business model and see how you're doing things. But there's something to be said for also responding to good reviews, okay? You should respond to those good reviews even if you have hundreds of them and you haven't responded to them in 10 years. Rhonda, for example, probably has a bunch of good reviews, and she may have someone that wrote her a good review 8 years ago. If she's never responded to that review, now is a good time. That person has maybe forgotten about you. If you respond to that review now, they get a little email saying, hey, Rhonda said thanks for the kind words. That reminds them of you. Responding to bad reviews that you feel like you don't deserve. I mean, that's vital. First thing is, don't admit to being wrong about something that's not your fault. If the weather calls you not to get there to fix that roof, then let the weather do that. Explain that to them. Now, I see a lot of people respond to Google reviews, and you have to remember the world is watching, you know. If you get angry and lose your cool, that whatever you said on that review, no matter how quickly you deleted it, it's probably going to be there forever.
It seems to happen a lot. People get defensive, the owners.
Yes, they get defensive, right.
That, yeah.
Just take that offline. Tell them, hey, call me later. Set an appointment with that person. Try to get that squared away. Don't lose your cool, because that is, to the internet, it's out there forever. So, that's really all I have. Anybody have any questions or how I can help them out?
How should the business owner respond to a negative review if they were obviously never come across as argumentative on the response?
Would always,
you're advocating for acknowledging it publicly, but in a professional
yeah, in a professional manner. And a lot of times you can turn that bad review into a good review.
Okay.
Because you look at those bad reviews, other people see that, and then they see that, oh, you've responded to this negative review and made an effort to fix it.
In a positive way.
So you got to respond in a positive way, and then try to don't tell them, oh, we'll pay that off or we'll give you 20% back. Don't say anything like that, because that's how con artists all of a sudden get involved in, send me a check for $300 and I'll forget it, you know? So, I mean, the best way to respond to that is professionally and tactfully. Apologize for any misunderstandings. We will make sure we get this taken care of, sir. We'll do whatever we can to make this right. Please contact me in my office at blah, blah, blah. And try to take that settlement offline. So if you take that settlement offline, then you can get a lot of people, if you just talk, a lot of times it's a misunderstanding. And if you just talk to them right, all of a sudden that review gets changed to from 1 star to maybe 3, which is better than nothing.
So for Google reviews, I keep a Word document on my computer that probably took me like 5 minutes to put together. But I went to Google and I was like, how to respond to a review. and I copy and pasted all these ideas into this Word document, so that when it's time for me to start replying to all of the Google reviews, I just like copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste.
Yeah.
And it is a time saver. It's not hard to respond to it, it's just
No.
going in and actually doing it.
And to kind of make it personal too. Leave
Yeah.
your initials. You know, you don't have to say Rick Lucas at 2813 Parkbrook Lane or whatever your home, you know, your home phone number or whatever. But you can go, oh, thanks for the kind words, RL. And it makes it look like this is a personal thing, you know.
Well, and we have a schedule, like we send out a request for a review like immediately after closing, and then if they don't send one, we have a system where it goes out 2 or 3 times just requesting a review, because people forget to do it. So if once you provide a service to them, you can always just send out a request to get
Because
them.
everybody, if you do them, take care of them. I've had hundreds of people promise to write me a good review. I think I have 8.
Yeah.
They when they say that, they probably mean it. They
100%.
probably mean they're going to do it. And somehow they never quite get to it.
Is it still true that you gotta have a Gmail account to do the Google review?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I heard you too.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a couple things you can do if you feel like also, because you can dispute a review. Okay, like if someone mentions Rick Lucas is a big dummy with a large nose and an ugly face, like I can dispute that, no matter how true it is. Okay, no matter how true it is, I can dispute that. Okay, because they mentioned my name. If they said the owner has a goofy looking face, then it's just, it is what it is. Now that's probably a bad example because it's such a personal thing. If they said that the owner was a terrible person and a loudmouth, I probably couldn't get that removed. But if it was Rick Lucas was this, you mention someone's name, you can get that disputed. Now I've seen sometimes like the con artist will leave a bad review and you can dispute that and just by saying that's not my client. Right, this is not my client. And leave that in your response. Sorry, sir, we've looked for you. We cannot find. Could you send us some more information about who or what you are? Must be some kind of misunderstanding. And if that con artist doesn't, because they're con artists, they're lazy. Okay, Google's going to reach out to them and go, oh, they're disputing this bad review. If the con artist doesn't answer, it's kind of like a bad credit score. If you dispute it, they don't answer it. Mm-hmm. It'll go away. That might take some time. So. There's a lot that can be done, actually. I've actually done a lot of work with people that's had some bad reviews like that, and they were trying to square away their business because a list of 4 or 5 bad reviews, and plus with our cancel culture, sometimes that happens. Just a couple of 4 or 5 reviews, you won't even get the call. You won't even know why you're not getting calls. You just missed these 4 or 5 calls for your business, and you just didn't get the call.
Is Google definitively they have the market cornered on? Universally, they are the most
for the most part
used review thing in the world.
For the most part, but what's kind of happening now though is that so many companies now. There's a plumbing company here in town. I used to work for them. I'll only mention their name, but they have thousands of reviews. Right? If somebody looks at that, how could you have thousands of all 5-star reviews? Come on, man. You don't have any bad reviews. You have thousands of customers. You didn't make somebody mad. You didn't make one mistake.
It was fake.
Those are a bunch of fake reviews.
Wow.
They're paying somebody to get those reviews. People are starting to turn on to that. You're almost better off having a bunch of people write you forward. If you're going to cheat, have them write you 4-star reviews. It looks more authentic, quite frankly.
There we go.
All right.
And then
Yeah. All right, excellent, Rick. Thank you very much.
Thank you.